Hello, everybody. Heather here with another episode of What's the 411? And today I'm going to give you the 411 on the Ninja Foodi Possible Cooker Pro Plus. And that just means I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know about this product and some things that you may have never even thought to ask so that you can get the most of the product or make an informed purchase decision. Now, I know what you're already thinking. Some of you already right off the bat, you're thinking, is this an official Ninja product? Because it's not even on the Ninja website. And that's true. It's not on the Ninja website, but it is a true official Ninja product. Why is it not on the Ninja website? Because it was made exclusively for and to be sold at Costco and Walmart. So the only place that you will officially see this model is at Costco or Walmart. Now, having said that, I have seen third-party sellers selling this on Amazon. I just want to let you know that if you do go that route, if in fact Amazon still allows them to be sold, just realize that you are not buying from an official authorized seller. So keep that in mind. But I just want to be upfront because I have seen these available on Amazon. So be aware of that if you happen to have purchased one before they're probably officially removed, that you're not purchasing from an authorized seller. So what's the deal with this? What's different about it? The best way I can describe this variant model is that it's a cross between the Possible Cooker Pro and the everyday Possible Cooker, with a few upgrades and additions. And so that's what we're going to focus on today. Now, I have done videos on this channel for both the Possible Cooker Pro and the Everyday Possible Cooker, which you can check out if you want to get the full review on the products that I believe this has been built from. So we're going to focus on what makes this particular variant unique, and if you haven't already purchased one, why I think you should consider purchasing it. So first, we're going to start with a nice tour of the pack-up and what you actually get in this model. And I want to tell you up front that if you are interested, I purchased mine from Costco for $129.99. I have seen sales throughout various parts of the seasons for as low as like $99. So just be aware that it can fluctuate, but at the time of this recording at my local Costco, it was $129.99, just so that you know. Now, so this is what you get in your pack up. First and foremost, you're going to get your spoon, which is very similar to what you get on the other Pro models. And also, with it, you're going to get an instructional guide that tells you all about the features. And you're also going to get a Pro Plus recipe book. What I like about it, it's a quick start guide, so it tells you how to get up and running quickly, but it also has great recipes, also has doneness charts and other charts to help you use all the features that we're going to talk about. So that's great. And I'm really glad that they included recipes to get you started too. Another thing that you get with this pack up, which I think is great, is you get the steam and roast rack right along with it. So this is not a separate purchase. It comes right along with it, which I love because this is fabulous. It's a very important piece, and I love that they've included it. Another thing that comes along with it that is unique to this particular model and variant is integrated into the system is the Smart Cook thermometer. So this comes along with your purchase and is integrated into this model. In fact, you actually attach it right here where my finger is. There's a tab here, and you would just connect your thermometer here like this, like so. And then this is your lid. And you'll notice something different about this lid. It has these two black grommets. This is where you actually would insert your thermometer. And then when you attach it back to your lid, your protein or whatever you have, chicken, beef, whatever you want to cook, you're going to put it down the center of your protein, or as close to the center as you can, avoiding bone and gristle. And so this allows you to cook your protein to your desired doneness. So I think this is a great addition that comes right along with your model. And the great thing is too, is that, you know, it gives you choices, because you don't have to use this thermometer if you don't want to. You can just cook like you normally would in your pro or every day. But I just love that they've included it because it gives you the opportunity to cook to the temperature that you desire. So that's a great addition that comes right along with your unit. Now, like I said, this is a little different than any other model because it has your grommets, but like the other models, it's still oven safe to 500 degrees. So that hasn't changed. And this here is your inner pot that I have on my hand. And I'm going to show you something. And I know it's hard to see because it is black, but one thing I want you to know and notice is that there's something different about this pot. It is still 8.5 quarts, so the capacity has not changed across the model of the Possible Cooker, the regular model Possible Cooker Pro. This Pro Plus is still 8.5 quarts. But the reason why I'm taking the time to show you the inside is that something is definitely different about it. And that is that it's ceramic coated. So this beautiful inner pot is now ceramic coated, which makes it great, in my opinion, because not only is it beautiful, but it cooks fabulously. If you've ever cooked with ceramic cookware, you know what I'm talking about. So it's ceramic coated. Also, this particular model has a slight curvature to it, so that when you're putting sauces, your sauce may go to one side. That's normal. It's not a flaw. It is a design feature. So just know that this pot has a slight curvature, so your liquid sauces sometimes may pool to one side. It's not you, it's not a flaw. That's the way this particular pot was designed. So just be aware of that. Another thing that makes this a little different is if you have the Pro model for the sous vide function, you had the water level line embossed in your pot. This model does not have that. So just realize when you are using sous vide, and sous vide in fact is one of the functions of this particular model, you're not going to have the water line embossed in the pan for you. So you just need to know that to use sous vide, you need to put 12 cups of water in your pot. Okay, because you're not going to have that line. I think it's because they didn't want it emboss this beautiful ceramic coating in the interior. So that's one change. Another change, and I kind of have to lift up the base here to show you, is, oops, sorry about that, a little noise here. But one of the things I've got to show you is that you'll notice that the interior of the base unit is this beautiful black. I love this because those of you that have the Pro know that sometimes you get those little brown spots because it was, you know, this light silver color, and they would really show up, and it's like, and you're like, how do I clean that? And I don't care what you tried, at least in my experience, I was never successful in getting rid of those little brown spots. So Ninja made this interior black, which I love because it really, if you do get a spot, it won't show up as well, and so it doesn't look gross in the interior. So I really like that Ninja took that feedback and thought about it and did that. So that's fabuloso, in my opinion. I love that. I love that attention to detail. And now we're just gonna put her all back together here. So now let's get into the nitty gritty. Now that we've kind of introduced you to this new model, what I love is that you have 11 cooking functions on this model. You have slow cook, sear and saute, bake, braise, proof, sous vide, which I love, and then you have steam, rice, pasta, oats, and keep warm. So you can see that you have the best of what the Possible Cooker Pro had to offer, and you have the best of what the everyday Possible Cooker had to offer in one pot, which I think is fabulous. With also, like I said, the addition of the thermometer, and you'll see where you can function or utilize the thermometer function here where I have my finger. I know it's black, so it's hard to see, so trust me, but you're going to see a button that says probe, and that is for when you have your thermometer attached, like I showed you earlier. You can press probe, and it'll toggle through your doneness options. And there's also a manual mode. So if you just know that, hey, I like my steak cooked to exactly 140 degrees or 145 or 130 even, however, you can do that. But if you're not sure, you can just toggle through and pick your protein. This right here is a nice LED. And you know, when it's turned on and you press probe, you press it once and it'll go through all the preset options for beef, chicken, fish, whatever protein you're cooking. What's great as well is that within your doneness options, you have the following options. You have rare, medium, medium well done, and something that's brand new to this model because I've never seen it on any other Ninja model that I own, something called shreddable, which is fabulous. So if you want to do like a pulled pork, pulled chicken, pulled beef, you can choose shreddable. And what happens is after it cooks to your desired doneness, it's going to hold for 2 hours. And then after that 2-hour period, your protein is going to be done and shreddable to perfection. So then you can just add your sauce and make your pulled pork sliders or whatever. I think that's fabulous. Fabulous. Fabulous is my new word because I love fabulous, but I got to mix it up a little bit. But I just think this is a great option. And again, you can toggle through the presets by pressing this button right here, which is labeled preset, and you just pick it and remember that your thermometer needs to be attached and go to town. It's great. And again, manual temp, which is right here under preset, you can choose that and customize your proteins to your desired temperature, which I think is a fabulous, like I said, fabulous addition to this great pot. So that's another thing. And again, just pick it through, or I should not say pick it, but just put your probe through the black grommets on the top here that I showed you earlier. Okay, now another fabulous difference. Oh, before I get to that, let me tell you this too. If you're going to use the thermometer, 2 important things that you need to be aware of. One, you don't want to try to put your thermometer through a protein that's frozen. Okay, so don't do that. You also don't want to use the thermometer on a protein that's less than 1 inch thick. Okay, so those 2 things are not going to work. Also, the thickest part of the protein is where you want to put it, and that may not always be the center, so just be aware of that. You want to place your thermometer in the thickest part of your protein. It has to be at least, like I said, 1 inch thick to get the best and most accurate doneness temperatures. Now, also be aware that the suggested temperatures that are pre-programmed for beef are going to be less than what's normally posted for beef, because Ninja has also taken account for the rest period, because during the rest period for beef, it's going to continue to cook. Okay, so just be aware of that as well. But truly fabulous addition. Okay, so now another important aspect of, and I would consider an upgrade, is the sear and saute function works differently than any other Ninja product in the Pro line. This is an upgrade that I think is fabulous. What's different about it is that in the Possible Cooker Pro, the forerunner to this model, you had really just high and like low. And then in the everyday possible cooker, you had the addition of medium. So you had on the everyday possible cooker, you had a choice to sear on high, low, or medium. This model takes it to the next level because you have the ability to sear anywhere between 250 degrees Fahrenheit all the way up to 400. So you really now have greater temperature control because you can you know, really customize your sear temperature so you can sear at a much higher heat than you were able to in the previous generations of this product, which I truly love because that really gives you the flexibility and truly to use this function as your stovetop because you can, you really can sear, but you can also, you know, fry some bacon. I mean, you've always been able to do that, but the fact that you have greater temperature control just puts the control to where it should be. And I think that's, you and me, the people that are going to use this and cook. So I love that they did this. Fabulous. So that's a really, really important difference. Now, one thing I will also tell you is that all the pieces that I've shown you are dishwasher safe, except for obviously the base, because you don't want to put that in any type of water or get any liquid in it. Now, I will tell you, because your interior inner pot is ceramic, your ceramic coating will last a lot longer if you hand wash it. As opposed to putting it in the dishwasher, but technically you can. So I just want to make you aware of that. And like I said, just that's another great addition of the ceramics. Now, another important thing that you need to know that makes this different, and we're going back to the thermometer again. There are only certain functions that you can utilize the smart thermometer with. Okay, and those 4 functions are bake and braise, sear, and saute. So keep that in mind. And what you want to do before choosing or pressing this probe button is choose your basic function. So toggle through, and this is your toggle switch right here, and choose either bake, braise, sear, or saute, and then press your probe button to either your desired preset or manual. Okay, so just remember that. Choose your function first, then choose the probe button. Also, another great difference is, like I said, you have the carryover of being able to make rice, pasta, and oats from the everyday possible cooker here. So, an important thing to remember is that just like in the everyday possible cooker, you don't need to drain your pasta. Okay. Now, another important thing is just like the on the everyday, these are set temperatures and times, so you can adjust when you're using pasta, rice, or oats. Okay, so it's pre-programmed for you. And in your quick start guide, you have charts to show you how to cook all different types of grains and rice with the amount of product, as well as water and things of that nature. So Ninja's really thought of everything for you in that regard. And then also, just also remember that to use the steam function, if you want to steam vegetables or anything you want to steam, you need at least 1 cup of water in the bottom. And also, just remember too, the bake function works the same as with any other Ninja product in the Pro line, meaning that it's designed for items that have a high water content or liquid content. So if you are not baking like a casserole or something that has a lot of liquid, you need to either rack it with your steam and roast rack, or place it in a pot and then inside the inner pot and bake it that way. Otherwise, your item will burn because it doesn't have the required amount of water. So the bake function works the same. If you have the Pro model or the everyday, you're aware of this, but I just want to let you know that is a carryover from this model. So basically, it works the same. So just keep that in mind. So that is the 411 on the Ninja Foodi Possible Cooker Pro Plus. This truly is a great model, especially if you are one that were kind of on the fence and you didn't know, should I get the Pro model or should I get the Everyday Possible Cooker? This is the best of both worlds. So if you were on the fence, this is a fine product. So that's the 411. And I appreciate you for watching. And I appreciate all those that have subscribed to the channel. And if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and join us. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.